Hello, everybody. Here we are, day 5. It's day 5. We have 5 little tasks, and we're going to feel so good when they're all the way done. I know it's not the same as digging in deep like we've done in the past in 30 days, but I got to admit, at the end of 5 days, doing 5 little things, I still feel a whole lot better about my digital space. Um, so I'm a little bit curious about the email. I know email's a biggie, and I know Google Drive is a big source of digital clutter, but I also feel like our desktop and our downloads folders are also often overlooked places of digital clutter that just cleaning them up can make a big difference. I know that those make a big difference for me. So I would love, as we wrap up this week together, these 5 days together, I would love some feedback from you to see if I hit the target with other people, if those are also sources of stress. I know for sure that your email is a source of stress of digital clutter, and I know Google Drive. And so that's why I linked up in guides 3 and I think 4, so many, or maybe not 4, but somewhere in there, definitely in guide 3. I know I did the email, but I know that some of you may want to take one area a week the rest of your school year, or through May, right? Through the spring, through May and June, maybe one area per week to target out. In fact, maybe I'll come on once a week and highlight one more area, and we'll keep on going if that would be helpful to everyone. So give me some feedback and let me know. But in the meantime, let's hit one more area that by this time in the school year is getting cluttered. Let's face it. So we're going to go over and we're going to hit on some ed tech tools. 2 ed tech tools that I rely really heavily on are my Edpuzzle and my Nearpod. So that's what I've got open this morning. I've got my Edpuzzle window open, and I've got my Nearpod window open. So I want to go through and just share with you some of the ways that I try to keep these 2 places organized. There's not one right way, of course. Like I always tell you, there's no one right way to do it. I share my ways of doing things in hopes that it helps some people. But if you have other ways that you do it, please share those as well, because we all benefit from collaborating and connecting with each other. That's a part of the value of doing these things together instead of in isolation. So in my Edpuzzle, I tend to pull things by subject area. That's how I like to organize things in Edpuzzle. At the beginning of the school year, I was teaching all 4 subject areas: social studies, language arts, math, science. So I created 4 folder areas to store content in, different videos that I was using with my students in Edpuzzle. And that works really good for me. I continue to teach math and science at this point. I have a co-teacher who does the social studies and ELA, so I don't have as many things that I'm still pulling for that. But what you will see is that I have these videos down below that are not categorized, and they need to be. So I'm going to do a few of them real quickly. I'm going to grab these that are science-based. I can see by their titles really easily. These are some science ones that are not in my science folder for some reason. Not sure why, but that's all right. I've added them to my content and haven't put them where they belong. So let's grab these science ones. Let's see. You're also seeing me go by some math ones, but I'm going to get the science ones first. And what I love, love, love about Edpuzzle is, interesting. I have a duplicate. So I'll probably also have to come back in and sort out. It's not a total duplicate though, because this one has 7 questions. This one has 10. So I'm going to keep them both for right now, and I'll have to do some deeper sorting later on and see which one I really want to keep. So let's see. I love what I was saying is I love that I can select a bunch of them and move them all at once. All right, so you can see I've got 15 selected. I think that's most. Oh, there's one more. All right, anything else? Oh, 2 more. Okay, that's it. So now I can move them all to a folder. I could assign them all at once. No, my kids don't want 18 more things assigned to them right now. Or I could just delete them out if I don't want them. For now, I'm going to move them to a folder. I'm going to put them in my science folder so that I can do a little bit deeper sort, probably over the summer in reality, just to determine what do I want to keep for next year and what do I want to get rid of, right? So now I'm going to do the same thing with the math ones. I'm going to grab all the math ones. Come on. And you can see I've got some duplicates of math also. It's almost the same video. This one's a little longer and it has a couple more questions. So yeah, I will have to do some deeper digging later on just to make sure I only keep the ones that I'm going to actually use. But for the meantime, let's just grab all the math ones. Minecraft is kind of funny because it fits in both math and science, but I'm going to keep it in math for now. And I'm going to move these to my math folder. And there, that's cleaned up. Now, I will say these social studies ones and these ELA ones, I don't anticipate needing them at all because I'm not teaching those subject areas. I could save them to share with other people, but I'm not really feeling a need to do that. So I am going to delete 11 of them this morning. I'm getting rid of that content. I don't need it. And I don't need any grades or progress from it because it's from the first half of the school year. So I'm not worried about any of that. All right, now I'm feeling like my Edpuzzle is fairly cleaned up and sorted for now. Oh, did I miss one? Let's see. Get rid of that one too. All right. And so I'm good here. I'm good. Everything inside these folders is going to be subject specific. And that's nice and neat and cleaned up. And I can take a closer look over the summer. So then in Nearpod, I do Nearpod a little differently. I don't do it by subject. In Nearpod, I sort by marking period because these are lesson plans and they're more like a lesson plan, right? They're things that you're doing with your students or that your students are doing self-paced together. And they often have multiple layers to it when you're in Nearpod. Just in case I'm talking to somebody who's not entirely familiar with Nearpod, you can add videos, quizzes, open-ended questions, polls. So they're really much more layered than just a video with stopping points and questions, which is what Edpuzzle is. In fact, in Nearpod, you can embed a video and you can make stopping points, just like it's in Edpuzzle. And then you can have them move to the next activity. So these have a little bit more depth to their content. And I prefer to keep them according to their pacing instead of according to their topic. So in Edpuzzle, I'm usually just going and pulling a quick video based on the subject area and the topic. Whereas in Nearpod, I'm sorting it and tracking it most of the time by pacing and when I'm teaching that specific thing. Okay. So for example, in first quarter, there are 12 Nearpod lessons or activities already in there. Notice that some of them actually look a little bit like the Edpuzzles I just got rid of in social studies, right? So I was doing a little bit of that. So there's science, there's math, there's all kinds of things, lessons in here. All right, let me go back out of first quarter. You can also see that I do have, so I've got first, second, third, fourth quarter, but I also have a project folder. This was a project my students did and they created Google slide decks. And I decided to put these into Nearpods. I transferred their slide decks into Nearpods so that they could see each other's and do some collaborating and commenting and different things with them inside Nearpod. So that was kind of neat. I'm prepping our EOG math boot camp, which will be shared with teachers on my grade level. And so I'm keeping all of the lessons and work for the EOG boot camp in a separate folder. Pre-recorded lessons for substitutes kept separate also. So there are some outlier types of things that I keep based in content type folders or subject type folders, topic type folders, whatever you want to call it, right? So then the issue becomes I always still end up with some things that are lingering, dangling, as you know, I like to call them. So I'm going to move these, and the easiest way is just to drag them by folder, and I can just look at the date for the most part and know where they belong because I know where my marking periods are. So I know this was a fourth quarter thing. If I ever want to duplicate it and reuse it, most likely going to happen in fourth quarter. This quadrilaterals work, fourth quarter. Geometry, this was fourth quarter. We just used this. This animal cells, this was, March 14th. Was that first quarter or was that third quarter still? I'm starting to forget. I'm going to have to double check my dates. Anytime I'm not entirely sure on my dates on whether I was in, I think we were in third quarter for that still, to be honest. So if I don't know for sure, I'm not going to place it anywhere yet. So I want to make sure I've got those dates in front of me. Let's see. So I've got February. That was third quarter for sure. So I'm going to move this into third quarter and this into third quarter. Sometimes I leave them out of their folder while they're things that I'm using because it's faster to get to them here and activate them or edit them. So that's why I have some of these things kind of dangling out here. Oh, this one's a quick launch. Unfortunately, quick launches can't be moved into folders. So you're always, anytime you do a quick launch, it's either going to stay out here on its own or it's going to be, you aren't going to be able to move it. So you can delete it if you don't need it anymore, or you're stuck with it being out here because you can't put it in a folder. All right, this one is February. This one is also, it's getting hard to drag it up. All right, let's see. This one's going to go into third quarter. 100th day celebration was third quarter. And if you can't drag it into a folder, I think you can click your three dots and add to folder from here. And then I can pick third quarter. Okay, so I will move those. The downside about when you're not just dragging it is it opens up the folder where it just dropped it. So let me come back out and see if I can keep doing a drag and drop. This math, I'm just not sure. Let me look at the comments. Is anybody from Cumberland County watching right now? Somebody tell me what quarter, where did the quarter change? I don't remember. Nobody's watching right now. That's okay. You're going to catch it all on the replay. That's fine. I've got a bunch of quick launches I'm not going to be able to move. Look at all those quick launches that are still out here. So I'm not going to be able to move those. October 6th, that was still first quarter, but just barely. Let's see if it's going to let me. Can I drag it? If I drop it, can I reorder it? No, it doesn't want to go up all the way. Okay, it's kind of a pain sometimes. So you have to fight with it a little bit. I'm just going to have to go folder by folder, add it to the first quarter, and then come back out. If somebody else knows a faster way, please do share. This is the best way I know how to do it. So now I'm inside that first quarter again. I got to go back out to my lessons. All right. But by the time I'm done, all that I'll have out here are going to be the quick launches, right? So these are going to go in first quarter. And this is going to go in first quarter. So I have 3 more to put up in first quarter, 4 more, because this one's got to go in fourth quarter or first quarter, excuse me, misspoke. But that's it. That's how I'm going to organize these and keep things sorted so I can go back and find stuff when I want it. Like I said, I would love to hear your strategies too. If you have some different strategies that work for you, please share. Don't keep them to yourself. We are better together. Once again, I hope the 5 tasks this week have been useful, have helped you to clean up some of your digital spaces where you find yourself frequently. That was my goal this week. That's why I chose the things I chose. And I do hope that they're helpful to other people, of course, as well. If you have specific things that you'd like me to share and talk about or find in the archives and pull out for you, let me know. I'm going to keep this group open through the end of May. And I don't know if I'll go live, but I'll at least post something each week and share, either pull it out of the archive or maybe come back on live once a week or so. May is going to be really busy with me. On a personal note, right? So we've got our daughter is a high school senior, and she's graduating from Cumberland Polytech at the end of the month. And we're expecting and anticipating, as long as nothing college stuff can get wonky sometimes, but we believe she's getting her associates from FTCC in culinary arts in the middle of the month too. So we're excited. We have lots of great things happening on a personal note right here in May that's going to keep us busy. And of course, all the things as EOGs come around and just stuff, right? Things that keep us busy. But I'm also fitting in some gardening and things. So I want to leave you on this personal note that says, look, find some balance. Keep your digital space as clean as you can, but don't let it stress you out trying to keep it clean. So maybe chunk aside 5 or 10 minutes a day where you're going to do a particular task that I've shared at some point. And I promise that when you find that balance, it really does make it easier to do the work that needs doing. Because when we open up our machines, when we open up that technology, most of the time, sometimes we're just goofing around and playing. Think back to all the apps I had on my phone, right? And everything I had to clear out and declutter just in that alone. But a lot of times we're getting on and we're trying to do a specific task, and it can really bog you down, and it really can mess with your head. If you're anything like me, when you open up and your space is just not organized, when it's disorganized, when it's cluttered, it's difficult to get in there, find what you need, and do the work that needs doing, and be productive, right? It's all about being able to be productive so that you can find that balance, so you can go and enjoy time with family and friends and doing whatever activities it is that you like to do. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to put 4 new roses in the ground today. I've got 4 new rose bushes. I am hoping to figure out exactly where I want them and get them put into place today. I hope that your week has been good. I hope these tasks have helped. I hope you will share with the group. I look forward to hearing from you. And I'm a couple of clicks away anytime you've got questions or want to just connect. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you around.